The sixth word.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnna Allah eştera minel mu'minina enfusahum ve emvalahum bi enne lehumul cenneh.
In the name of Allah, the merciful, the compassionate. Verily Allah has purchased from the believers their persons and their property, that paradise might be theirs. If you wish to understand how profitable a trade it is, and how honourable a rank to sell one's person and property to Allah, to be His slave and His soldier, then listen to the following comparison. Once a king entrusted each of 2 of his subjects with an estate, including all the necessary workshops, machinery, horses, weapons, and so forth. But since it was a tempestuous and war-ridden age, nothing enjoyed stability. It was destined either to disappear or to change. The king, in his infinite mercy, sent a most noble lieutenant to the 2 men, and by means of a compassionate decree, conveyed the following to them. Sell me the property you now hold in trust, so that I may keep it for you. Let it not be destroyed for no purpose. After the wars are over, I will return it to you in a better condition than before. I will regard the trust as your property and pay you a high price for it. As for the machinery and tools in the workshop, they will be used in my name and at my workbench. But the price and the fee for their use shall be increased 1,000-fold. You will receive all the profit that accrues. You are indigent and resourceless, and unable to provide the cost of these great tasks. So let me assume the provision of all expenses and equipment, and give you all the income and the profit. You shall keep it until the time of demobilization. So see the 5 ways in which you shall profit. Now, if you do not sell me the property, you can see that no one is able to preserve what he possesses, and you too will lose what you now hold. It will go for nothing, and you will lose the high price I offer. The delicate and precious tools and scales, the precious metals waiting to be used, will all lose all value. You will have the trouble and concern of administering and preserving, but at the same time be punished for betraying your trust. So see the 5 ways in which you may lose. Moreover, if you sell the property to me, you become my soldier and act in my name, instead of a common prisoner or irregular soldier. You will be the free lieutenant of an exalted monarch. After they had listened to this gracious decree, the more intelligent of the 2 men said, By all means, I am proud and happy to sell. I offer thanks 1,000-fold. But the other was arrogant, selfish, and dissipated. His soul had become as proud as the Pharaoh. As if he was able to stay eternally on that estate, he ignored the earthquakes and tumults of this world. He said, No, who is the king? I won't sell my property, nor spoil my enjoyment. After a short time, the first man reached so high a rank that everyone envied his state. He received the favour of the king, and lived happily in the king's own palace. The other, by contrast, fell into such a state that everyone pitied him, but also said he deserved it. For as a result of his error, his happiness and property departed, and he suffered punishment and torment. O soul, full of caprices, look at the face of the truth through the telescope of this parable. As for the king, he is the monarch of pre-eternity and post-eternity, your sustainer and creator. The estates, machinery, tools and scales are your possessions while in life's fold. Your body, spirit and heart within those possessions, and your outward and inward senses, such as the eye and the tongue, intelligence and imagination. As for the most noble lieutenant, It is the noble messenger of Allah, and the most wise decree is the wise Quran, which describes the trade we are discussing in this verse.
إن الله اشترى من المؤمنين أنفسهم وأموالهم بأن لهم الجنة.
Verily, Allah has purchased from the believers their persons and property that paradise might be theirs. The surging field of battle is the tempestuous surface of the world, which ceaselessly changes, dissolves and reforms, and causes every man to think. Since everything will leave our hands, will perish and be lost, is there no way in which we can transform it into something eternal and preserve it? While engaged in these thoughts, he suddenly hears the heavenly voice of the Quran saying, "Indeed there is a beautiful and easy way which contains 5 profits within itself." What is that way? To sell the trust received back to its true owner. Such a sale yields profit 5-fold. The first profit. Transient property becomes everlasting. For this waning life, when given to the eternal and self-subsistent Lord of Glory and spent for His sake, will be transmuted into eternity. It will yield eternal fruits. The moments of one's life will apparently vanish and rot like kernels and seeds. But then the flowers of blessedness and auspiciousness will open and bloom in the realm of eternity, and each will also present a luminous and reassuring aspect in the intermediate realm. The second profit. The high price of paradise is given in exchange.